All right, Fat Method clients, we are now going to talk about the eating for life phase of the nutrition plan. And this is my favorite phase because you are actually eating. You're eating ordinary everyday food you can buy from the grocery store. You're not depriving yourself. And when you eat like this, you can still lose weight. So it's fantastic. It's not a diet program. It's an eating program. Okay, so eating for life then. Again, we're going to eat a meal. Try to eat a meal every 3 to 4 hours. And again, this is on your non-fasting days. Now, again, it might be on your fasting days after 6 p.m. You might have a meal like this. Just remember that. But mostly, again, these are on the non-fasting days. You want to try to eat every 3 to 4 hours to keep your metabolism stoked. That's really important. It also keeps your blood sugar more balanced and stable. When that happens, you're going to feel a lot better. You're not going to feel like you have low energy if you keep your meals balanced. So again, try not to go longer than 4 hours without having a meal, and try to eat like 4 to 5 meals a day. I promise you can eat like this when you're eating smaller, more portion meals, and it will not get you to gain any weight, especially if you are exercising as well. And that's really important to remember that. Okay. Now, each meal that you eat should contain a carbohydrate portion and a protein portion. So you need to get those right combinations together. You need to get a carb and a protein every time that you eat. Those are the two main components when you eat like this. Now, the reason why we want to do that is carbohydrates are what give us energy. So we want to make sure we're getting energy every 3 to 4 hours. And the protein portion is like the building block for the muscle tissue. So it helps repair your muscle tissue. And it's going to go ahead and keep that metabolism going. Also then, protein helps keep you full for a longer time frame. So when you get the carb to give you the energy and then you include the protein with it in your meal, you're going to feel much more satisfied for a longer time frame. And that's going to hold you over till you get to your next meal. Now, a portion size is roughly the size of the palm of your hand, or like a deck of cards, or the size of a hockey puck. Now, when you guys are eating like this, the most important thing is make sure your portion sizes are not too small. I'd rather have you eat a bigger portion size than a smaller portion size. If you're keeping things to big portion sizes, you're still going to go ahead and keep your calories low enough where you're going to lose body fat, but the portions then are big enough where it's going to keep your body out of starvation mode. We want to make sure we're staying out of starvation mode, and I'll talk more about that in some of the videos on the coaching videos. But that's really important. You got to make sure that you're eating so that your brain doesn't think that you're starving. We only want to do the accelerated fat loss, for like a day at a time, so that way you lose the body fat. You're optimizing the fat loss because you're not eating, but then we're right back on track eating the next day so that your brain doesn't think that you're starving yourself. We want to make sure that doesn't happen. All right. Now, also then what you want to do is eat 2+ portions of vegetables every single day and 2 portions of healthy fat. So let's say that you're shooting for 4 meals a day. Okay. Make sure that 2 of those meals have vegetables in them and 2 of those meals have healthy fats. And again, I'll have a list, and I'll give you guys a list of these. It's probably underneath this video, the Smart Food list. That'll give you guys a list of carbohydrates and protein. We'll talk more about that in a second. Now, if you guys want to have a vegetable in every single meal, go ahead and do that. Vegetables don't have any calories, very little if they do, and they just help fill you up and give you energy because they are a carbohydrate. So you can eat an abundant amount of those to help keep you satisfied if you can. And then the healthy fats are really important for brain function, and we got to have fat to survive. The fat's like the insulation for our body. Now, let's say then if you're eating 5 meals a day, you'd have 5 portions of carbs every day, 5 portions of protein every day, 2 portions of veggies, and 2 portions of healthy fats. If you were having 4 meals a day, you'd have 4 portions of carbs every day, 4 portions of protein every day, 2 portions of vegetables, and 2 portions of healthy fats. Now, the great thing about this is 1 day a week we're going to have a cheat day. That's the day that you can splurge a little bit and have a couple cheat meals that day. Make sure you do your cheat day then on the same day that you weigh in. And again, I want you guys weighing in and posting your weight to the Facebook group on Saturdays or Sundays. Remember, get up in the morning, go to the bathroom, and then weigh yourself. Take a picture of your scale weights, an actual picture with your cell phone, and then upload that to the Facebook group. And then if you guys want to post some comments in there, you lost 3 pounds, you're feeling great. Whatever you need to do to keep motivated and get support from the other ladies going through the group, post that in there. But again, your cheat day should be the same day that you weigh in every single day. Now, we want to drink half your body weight in ounces of water every day. And if you're going to get really specific, you should take your body weight and multiply it by 0.55, and that'll calculate how many ounces of water per day. And I'm going to talk more about water intake and how to plan for your water. We'll do that in the coaching videos, and I'll probably even throw one here in the membership site for you. Now, if you really want to keep this as simple as possible, if you're really a busy nurse, I highly suggest that you use AdvoCare meal replacement shakes and nutrition bars to keep it simple and easy. I use AdvoCare nutrition shake every single day for breakfast because I'm so busy in the mornings. Now, I'd rather have you guys have a solid meal, but sometimes when you're at work, you know you can't have a solid food until you get a break. Now, what's great about these meal replacement shakes is you can blend them at nighttime before you go to bed and keep them in a shaker in the fridge. Or again, you can do it right away in the morning and put it in a shaker. And then when you get to work, you can keep it at the nursing station, or you can just go ahead and put it in the refrigerator in the break room. And when it's been 3 or 4 hours, it's time to have a meal. You can go to that shake, just give it a quick shake, and then drink it. Now the shakes only take about 30 seconds to 40 seconds to consume, and they satisfy you. And the AdvoCare ones, I've been using them, gosh, probably 7-8 years now. They're really tasty. They've got vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. Now, I'm not saying you have to use these, but they come in super handy. Now, as far as the meal replacement bars, the great thing about those, you just can keep them in your pocket in your scrubs, and then when it's time to have a meal, you just step away for a second. You could break it up into 2 pieces and have one really quick, take you about a minute, maybe a minute and a half to eat, and then you can have the other half, 10 or 15 minutes later whenever you can get away to just sneak a little bit. But they make it really simple and easy. You can keep them at the nursing station in a basket if you need to. I always hear nurses tell me, well, that it's so hard at work because at the nursing station there's always so much unhealthy food, and in the break room there's pizza all the time. Well, there's no reason why you guys can't keep healthy food there. If someone's putting unhealthy food there, go ahead and put a little sticky note on there and say piggy piggy, and then put your meal replacement bars in a little container there and put it next to it. And then you can make the decision what you want to make. It's all about the decisions and the choices that you make. You need to start making new choices to get you where you want to go. The choices you've made up to this point, again, have led your body to where you're at now, and you're not happy. So I highly recommend checking the AdvoCare lesson on this membership site again, and I'll talk about supplements a little bit on there in the video, but these are the ones I recommend to my clients, and the reason why I recommend these is because they've got a medical advisory board. They test all their products before they go out the door. If you guys don't know, the supplements are not tested by the FDA, and when you go to the Walmart and buy cheap stuff, half the stuff on the label is not even in the products, and nobody cares because nobody tests them, and that's why they sell it so cheap. If you put cheap stuff into your body, that's what you're going to get back, cheap. If you put a good high quality product into your body, that's what you're going to get out of it. So those are the ones that I recommend. So let me give you an example of a quick little day. Now these are just some macronutrients that I came up with, and if you guys aren't familiar with what macronutrients are, it's just a carb, a protein, or a fat. That's the technical term for it. Now when you guys are planning your meals out ahead of time, make sure you guys do that smart food list again, which is below this video. And again, I've included a recipe book that's got over 200 different recipes in it for you. They're not even recipes, they're just meal plans that you guys can choose as well. So let's say for meal number 1, maybe in the morning you had some Cheerios, that's a carbohydrate, and maybe you have 3 eggs with it, that's a protein. That would be a complete meal. Maybe for meal number 2, then you have an apple, that's a carbohydrate, and then you have some cottage cheese with that, that's a protein. Remember, when you combine the carb and the carb gives you energy, the protein is going to keep you full and satisfied and help repair your muscle tissue. Meal number 3 then, let's say you got a little more time during lunch, so maybe you have a baked potato, that's a carbohydrate. Maybe you have a chicken breast with it, that's a protein. Maybe you throw your first vegetable for the day in there with your salad, and you throw your first fat in there with it. Maybe that's ranch dressing, that's a healthy fat. Then meal number 4, let's say you have an AdvoCare meal replacement bar with some almonds. So the AdvoCare shake and meal bars have carbs and protein in them. The almonds, your second fat for the day. And that's a typo. That should say meal number 5. Maybe you have some brown rice, which is a carb. Maybe you have a turkey burger with that, which is protein. Maybe you throw some green beans in there, which is a vegetable. And then maybe you throw some ranch dressing in there for a fat as well. So that'd be an example of what a day would look like. Again, this is just what I threw on here. You guys can choose any carbs or any proteins that you like. There's just numerous ones out there. Now, if you guys can see, when I did this, on all the carbohydrates, I put a C by that. And all the proteins, I put a P by that. That's how you guys should plan your meals on a piece of paper. And I put a planning video in the membership site here. So before the day starts, or better yet, you want to plan out the whole week ahead of time on your days that you're not working. You want to just write down, let's say Monday, meal number 1, meal number 2, meal number 3, meal number 4, meal number 5. Then you want to put a C by each one for carb, put a C by number 1, C by number 2, C by number 3, etc. Then you want to go ahead and put the P by number 1, the P by number 2, the P by number 3 for protein, and then put a V there on 2 of those and an F for healthy fats on 2 of those. And then you just fill it in. You look at the smart food list. Okay, I want to eat this here for a carb, and I'm going to put a protein with it of this. Then you go to the next meal, and it makes it so simple and easy. You can plan out a whole day in under 2 minutes. I can do it in 30 seconds because I've been doing this for so long. It doesn't take long when you put effort into it and you start establishing habits. Like I mentioned in the future video, you guys are going to learn structure equals habits, and habits give you the results you're looking for. So remember, below this video then is the smart food list to identify carbs. You know, what is a carb, what is a protein, and what's a healthy fat. And it just gives you a small list. You know, there's so many carbohydrates out there and protein and healthy fats. And if you don't know, post in the Facebook group again, and I will go ahead and tell you if it's a carb or protein. But the best thing is just flip the product over and look at the nutrition label. So if you look at, say, at the nutrition label, and it's got 30 grams of carbs and it's got 10 grams of protein, you consider it a carb because it's got more carbs in it. If you flip the nutrition label over, and let's say it's got 25 grams of protein and 15 grams of carbs, you would consider it a protein. That's really important. Like example, peanut butter, a lot of people think that peanut butter is protein. It's actually fat because it's got more fat in it per serving size compared to protein. So you got to know, really understand this to make this work. And I'm going to tell you right away, you're going to make mistakes in the beginning. Don't worry about that. Write down what you're eating, and then I can help you with it on the coaching sessions, or again, you can even upload it to the Facebook group, and I'll give you some suggestions if you don't know. Remember, I'm here to help you. That's why you guys hired me. Use me. Most people don't use me enough. And again, use the recipe book, the Eating for Life recipe book. I purchased the reseller rights to that like 15, 17 years ago. It cost me a lot of money, but it's helped a lot of my clients out. And again, I posted that below this video as well. All right, guys, so that's the Eating for Life phase when you're not typically doing your accelerated fat lays, your fasting phase of the program. Keep the meal simple at work. You want to keep it as simple as you can, and that's why I recommend the AdvoCare meal replacement shakes at work. They keep it simple and easy, and they're fast. And again, that's why I use one every morning for breakfast. I would rather have everybody have a solid meal 4 or 5 times a day, but sometimes it just makes it simple and easy when you have a meal replacement shake. And meal replacement shakes have carbs and protein in them that are pretty balanced out. That's another reason why the AdvoCare ones are so great. Excuse me. They've got 25 grams of carbs and 25 grams of protein. So it keeps things balanced. So, keep the meal simple at work. Keep them small and easy, something you guys, can consume pretty quickly because you guys don't have a lot of time. And then when you get home after work, that's when you can have bigger meals and maybe more complex meals that take a little bit more time to prep for your family, or you need to cook for a little bit. Keep those on your days that you're not working. Use the recipe book and go ahead and make things, take a little bit more time with your meals when you have more time at home. Okay, I hope you guys learned something. Again, if you have questions, post in the Facebook group. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys in the next lesson.